Welcome back to the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast. As always, here I'm your host, Glen Alexander, with my co-host, Trey Florence. And this week, we're going to talk about really all the Oklahoma State sports here overall, because Alden McLean, including football, is making some off-the-field noise as well, too. So we're going to go over back-to-back men's basketball losses, talk about NCAA tournament chances, out of range in the Ranger Stadium, winning 1 out of the 3 games this weekend for Oklahoma State baseball and Josh Holiday. Clearwater, Florida, the Oklahoma State softball team getting 2 top 10 wins on Friday, and more from this weekend. And talk about the Stilly boys. Really, that's just an excuse to talk about, of course, the wrestling team and how they've been doing. And as always, some football talk here. And I've got a question for trivia. So please stump Trey.
The CGA Tour, a podcast unlike any other. Now your host, Glen Alexander.
Hey Cowboy fans, today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance. Working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow poke helping you protect what matters most.
Well, Trey, how is it going, man? You know, Sunday evening when we're recording this film, when you're listening to it, I try to get these out as soon as I can, but for frame of reference, it's Sunday evening after the big wrestling win today in Virginia Tech. So How are you doing?
So, you know, some sports I'm doing great in, some sports I'm like, oh dear. But you know, what is that not ever a Oklahoma State Cowboy fan? It's like we always get the highs, the lows, the highs and the lows. So it's always, you never know what we're going to get.
I will say I am going to the wrestling duel that's on ESPN a week from today when we're recording this against Iowa.
That's going to be a good one.
Hopefully see if you're a CGA Tour fan, you know me personally, whatever, feel free to shout, say hi. Would love to see anyone. But the men's basketball team is I think, where we got to start out with here.
Yeah.
Right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I watched yesterday's game, of course. I wouldn't be talking about it if I didn't watch it. At one point at 7, really far down the stretch, it's 74-71. We come down the court and we just absolutely take a 1-on-3. I believe it was Kanye Clary, and just botch the whole situation. Like, just dribble it almost out of bounds. You know, right. Just trying to go 1-on-3. I didn't expect it out of some of these guys who have at least been around college basketball for more than a year. Like, if you're telling me Ben Ahmed does that, I think he's a true freshman. Right. Okay. You know, Vukovic, like, he's not the best hands guy, but Clary transferred in from Penn State. There's just some guys who've been around a little bit. Victorious Miller, I understand, fouled out, but we had to win that TCU game. We had to win one of the 2 games this week to have March Madness still on kind of the fold, honestly.
Right.
We dropped both. I understand an overtime loss at home, and Parsifal didn't play a lot of the second half, yada, yada. But he also didn't play a lot of the second half in the Arizona State game, and a lot of that's due to foul trouble, to be honest. It's not due to, a lower back issue or an injury of some type or health-wise. So what did you take away from the basketball game?
For the
TCU one.
For the TCU one, I just feel like I wish Victorious Miller would have done a little bit more than what he did. He has 25 minutes and just 3 points. Like, he didn't do much. Granted, he does more in some other games. He usually gets us about roughly 10 points a game. So I'm a little disappointed on his play. I'm glad Parsifal was doing great. I don't know. It's just, we're always missing one like key piece, and it's very frustrating, you know, especially like we should have won. I feel like we should have won this one. Should we have won it before it going into, overtime? That I don't know. Like, we were kind of just trailing that whole entire time until we got to overtime by some miracle. So we did play relatively all right at the beginning of overtime, but then we just kind of just didn't play as well. So I don't know. We're just not playing defense. I don't think like you're telling me we put up 92 points and we still lost a game. That's kind of crazy to think about. Whenever we usually score 92 points, we usually win said game. So it's just like, what happened to our defense? Like we had like one really solid defensive game against, BYU. And then from there, I just feel like, well, you really haven't played very well deep. Granted, I know Arizona was ready for us. Arizona had a bye week. Arizona's number one. We know that. But TCU, we should have played a little bit better, I feel like.
I mean, Arizona for sure. Like I that one I'll understand forever, basically,
Right.
just because like they were unbeaten until they played KU. Type of deal, honestly. They're an incredible team. Connie Clary fouling out was a distinct switch in the game. I mean, it all of a sudden was like, okay, we're rolling, we're at least in the game, and then okay, we don't have a solid ball handler. Honestly, like my Christian Coleman hype from earlier on in the season has pretty much subsided, I'd say.
I know what happened to him. I was like, he was like the man, and like we were always praising him, but of course these were against like nobody really, the small schools.
I mean, if you tell me, hey, Christian Coleman is going to score 13, he's going to be 100% from the field, 100%. He made two jumpers and 2 threes, and he's going to have 75% from the free throw line, 3 of 4, 13 points. I'd be like, all right, we had to win. This is actually the first time we've lost a game when scoring this much with Steve Lutz. And you know what? I don't want to make it like the sky's falling, Steve Lutz be fired, like that. I'm not getting at that. I'm just saying, realistically, tournament chances are bleak, to say the least.
Yeah.
The fact is now we have to beat either Kansas at home on Wednesday or
Houston at home.
At the end of the season.
Yep.
And we probably, honestly, I'm not going to say we have to win out, but like we have to. I mean, there's 6 games left. We probably have to go 5-6 down the stretch. That's really what would need to happen. Because right now our projected record is we have 1 more win.
Yeah.
I mean, be solidly in the tournament after you're losing to Arizona State and TCU, who are just not. They're just not great. They're just not good teams. I mean, they kept on showing the graphic repeatedly. Like TCU is the first 4 out, OSU is the next 4 out. Cool. Like I like seeing those stats. Not going to hate it at all. But TCU is now 6-6 in conference. Arizona State is now 4-8 in conference. We're now 4-8 in conference.
Right.
We're also now 16-9, just like TCU. And Arizona State's 13-12. Like once the Big 12 is a gauntlet, like Arizona. Projected wise, we're projected to go 6-12. Last year we won, I think, 12 games. Or last year with Mike Boynton, we won 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to surpass that. Like I'm super excited. But man, this is really tough because just looking ahead here, I haven't done a great job of that on the pod of just like looking ahead, doing predictions and stuff. And I don't want to spend forever talking about the basketball team. I do want to talk about the great win for baseball today over Vanderbilt, the great top 10 wins for softball when softball's ranked 23rd in the country and you have top 10 wins. Well, we're going to give you props. We're going to get there. But basketball front of mind here. I'm a basketball coach. I mean, that our season actually just wrapped up this past week. So get more into the podcasting part of the schematics here. What I think is weird is that we play Vukovic a lot and we play Ahmed a lot. Like it seems as though the diminishing returns with Parsifala are evident of, listen, is he an extra effort guy? Yeah, he got us to overtime. Like he had to put back to get us to overtime. He's definitely an extra effort guy. He's also definitely like a pick and pop, stretch 4, stretch 5, whatever you want to say. Like he has ability. But what was really great for this team against Texas A&M earlier on in the season, against BYU recently, against Kansas State when we won at home, against UCF when we won at home, is that Parsifala was able to play a lot of minutes in the game. That's it. That's all it is to me. So when Fala is out there and he gets called for fouls, like, you know what, honestly, he I think really has the issue with that he's built like an NFL guy playing college basketball.
That makes sense.
For example, Christian Coleman has really wide shoulders, but he's really slim.
Right.
Like he has had an interview with Oklahoma State with Dave Hunziker where he's like, hey, I didn't have any offers coming out of high school because I was 6'1" playing like a small forward. You know, I mean, it's like you and I playing out there, not at all in the same aspect of actually playing basketball, but for being like he'd be better if he was just taller. And now he's 6'8", so he's much better. But he still is learning his body a little bit. Some of the times, like the ball is clearly going to be passed to him. He doesn't really grab it that strongly with both hands. Just a couple times, really, in the last 3 minutes of the game that I'm pointing out specifically here. That happens twice. There's also some stuff where, like, dude, you should be able to slam it home. Yeah. Like, you should be able to. That he just seems like he's kind of like a deer learning how to walk a little bit. I mean, he just had such a rapid span of height growth, of growth. So, a point being, looking ahead here and get back to that, I really wish Christian Coleman was a lot better. I thought he was going to be kind of the guy who would unlock Oklahoma State. In some points he has, some points he hasn't. But he's not been the deciding factor in a win, really. Yeah, maybe the BYU game if we're talking about it, but really, Anthony Roy was that guy. So Christian Coleman played pretty darn good defense against AJ DeBonsa, but AJ DeBonsa still scored 30. So thank you for what it is. Looking ahead here, we got Kansas at home, and then we go play at Colorado. And to go play at Colorado, we're their next game. I mean, they have a whole week off. We get to go play KU at home. Fingers crossed we pull that one out. I mean, a Wednesday night, 8 p.m. game. Who does that remind you of?
Yeah.
BYU. That was BYU. The recipe. You know what I mean? Like, that's...
Just hopefully we don't get a fine or anything from the NCAA.
But even if we do, I mean, like potato. I mean, I care about the fines, right? That's the funny part to me. It's like, I mean, when MLB teams get fined, then I get worried. Every other team in every other league, I don't care about because the MLB has no cap, no bottom floor. Right. But I'm also a Padres fan. They've been spending money for forever. You're a Rangers fan. They've been spending money for forever. So you got a World Series in the last 5 years, right? So.
I don't know what you're saying. I'm just a baseball connoisseur.
You're also just a random football fan. But the most recent team that you've put out on social media, going to a stadium of that I remember is the Rangers Stadium.
That's true.
Granted, you have a now small newborn, so maybe you haven't been to the Cardinals. But my point being is like MLB is the only team that MLB is the only sport where I'm like worried about fines. Every other thing I'm like whatever, fines, I'll figure it out. This KU game though.
Yeah.
Like
it also helps that like there's been March Madness within the tournament or within the conference this last couple of weeks of like Arizona now losing, then KU losing to Iowa State losing to Texas Tech, and it's just like this whole triangle of like craziness that's been happening. So there could be potential that we could do another upset. Is it likely? We will see.
KU has their last game they played yesterday when we're recording this. They played Iowa State. They lost. It's a away game. They lost pretty badly though. 74-56. KU has not lost back-to-back games this season. KU is better at home.
Oh yeah.
Of course they are. But
that stadium.
Whew. Bill Sell coming back to Stillwater. Hey, Bill. Hey, you know what? I think you guys probably make it the tournament, even if you lose against us. You can lose against us. Bill, let me tell you.
Yeah. Give us a win.
What do you need from us? We won't enter Darren Peterson. Bill Self did play Green Bay earlier on this season for the first game of the season against Doug Gottlieb, and they won. Not surprisingly, 94-51. But this KU team is tough. They have probably the best player in the country on their team in Darren Peterson when he decides to play basketball, which is a whole another topic for another day. That game seems really tough and really, really just not probable to win. I wouldn't put my eggs in that basket, and I'm going to leave them there because this is all the same black magic, juju that I said about the BYU game before we played it. So I'm going to keep all of that same thoughts there. Can we talk about the Colorado game though?
Yep, we definitely can. Colorado. I feel like that's our better chance, but It's rough right now because right now we have to win that game because if we don't, then we kind of fall into that. We're going to be behind Arizona State and Colorado most likely in the standings, and that's just not looking great at all for us. That'd be what we'd be 4-10 at that point. Doesn't look great for us.
No, and Colorado and us are both projected by Ken Palm to have the same Big 12 record, 6-12. But Colorado, I mean, they've got some just bad losses on the season. They lost, granted, back in December, over a month ago. They lost to Northern Colorado, like 5-5 at home. I mean, they've lost some other games they probably should have won, maybe not. It kind of depends on which way you're looking through it. But like they've lost to Baylor, they've lost to UCF. They've lost by 30 to Iowa State. They've lost by just 2 to Tech. So that there's some stuff going on there. But like, I'm worried. Yeah. I'm worried about the Colorado game. Ken Palm currently projects us to lose by 3. So, I mean, if you're a betting man, do whatever you want to do with those numbers to get closer. But like, I'm just, man. Can we not play Can we not play K-State one more time, please? Can that not be figured out? Can we not just say K-State's our basketball rival and we play them one more time? K-State's having the worst year.
Or Utah.
They're one of our Big 12 wins. You know, Utah was a grinded out win, I felt like, from door to door, and we still won 81-69. We are just not winning games. Like, the BYU game is so weird when you look at it.
All right.
Like, that one is an outlier on the whole season because it's like, hey, we beat BYU, we're in the tourney, and then we just go, let's create it. Like, let's not even score 50 the next game.
Right.
Let's score 47 points against Arizona.
Granted, it was against the number one team where they had a week off, so I can see why.
47, Trey, like, we're B1 players.
Yeah.
These are guys that, like, you know what? Let's just talk about softball. Because, like, this is just it. You know, best expectation, you tell me, what do you think? What do you think happens here? What do you think we do?
For which one? Sorry. Against the rest of the season?
No, I mean, just the 2 games this week. Predict 2 games at a time. Best case situation, I think we go 1-1. I think if they win, not on Wednesday at home, I think it's a win at Colorado after legitimately maybe getting our teeth kicked in by KU. Because if KU is on a revenge tour after losing to Iowa State the way they did,
right,
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. So I am.
And there them deciding, hey, let me put more of my NBA draft stock out there for every single guy and gal to look at, and then any NBA front office on ESPN on Wednesday at 6 p.m.
time, quote unquote,
6 p.m. Pacific, where the Utah Jazz are in Pacific time zone, and they'll be probably drafting the top 4 or 5 after that, I guess. Yeah, seems right.
Yep. Yeah, he's probably going to put some minutes in. That's for sure. Maybe not. Depends on how much we get blown out. You never know. It just depends. Once again, this is the worst part is like, it depends on what team shows up. If we have the same team that showed up against Iowa State, we'd be at least relatively close. Or the team that showed up against BYU. Let's just hope we don't have the team that showed up against Arizona. So hopefully everybody's healthy and not sick. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. We're probably going to be 1-1 if that. It's going to be. It'd be great if we win against. But my problem though is we win against Kansas, then we'll lose against Colorado because we'll be kind of like what happened to BYU. So I don't know. It's unfortunate because we have to basically kind of win out for the rest of the season to even consider being in the tournament or in the big tournament, unless we do really well in the Big 12 tournament.
I think we can probably be one of those 2 teams, to be honest, but I don't know.
It's weird. It's weird. It's like we had such high hopes at the beginning of the season, and then like once we got through it, we're like, I'm not so sure about this team anymore.
Yeah, it's just a weird deal of like, okay, we thought we were going to be much better than we were. Earlier on the season, we were like undefeated at home. We're undefeated for a while. We're undefeated at home, etc. And this just seems like kind of a letdown. So, yeah, best of luck to the Cowboys this week. But both of us would be super excited. Maybe an emergency late night podcast if we beat Kansas, so be on the lookout for that one. But fingers crossed we win Saturday against Colorado, and we're back in a week here to talk about the Colorado win and the wrestling win. So baseball here, though, got their season kicked off this past weekend, and
Man, did they get it kicked off?
they got their teeth kicked in, honestly.
2-12
in the first game against Arkansas. Granted, Friday, granted, I don't know what it's say granted about. 8 innings they only played. Tough deal. And then
it's number 8th in this year. Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah. Then Bedlam against OU. Give me a break. 1-10. 1-10. I mean, they got on us early. They're 3-0 on the and coming up to the top of the third. We scored 1 run in the 5th. We have 4 hits on the day. I know I'm reading stats here. I try to do a little bit better of an insight, so give me a second. But man, that's tough. I just want to say that. We just really did not respond at all, it seems.
Yeah, our pitching was not the best. Kind of like what I think you mentioned that in our preseason for baseball was this is the first year without our pitching coach. So this is the new year for the pitching coach, and woo, it is not pretty so far.
Yeah, I mean,
granted, I am going to give him a little bit of credit because you did play number 8 Arkansas right off the bat. So this kind of at least told us how we were going to measure against them. But yeah, not the best.
Yeah, but it's OU. I mean, Josh Holiday is 37-16 all time against OU.
Wow.
Not a trivia question. I wasn't planning on talking about that. OU, do you want to know OU's SEC preseason coaches poll, where they rank?
Wasn't it 10th?
In the SEC. Just in the SEC out of 16 teams.
Wasn't it 10th or no? Lower?
14th.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I get it. Arkansas is always good.
Right.
This is a tough one because Colin Ritchie had an RBI. That's the only thing we do against OU. OU losses suck way more, in my opinion. We had 2 guys hit by pitch. Aiden Neola, the guy who I think's got to be our MVP of the team this year. He got on base, hit by pitch, but got on base. The one thing I'd say is that Josh Holiday's been around for a sneaky long time.
Right.
314 seasons. So there's a lot in me that goes, you know what? I've seen the GoFundMe. I'd say that. I've seen the GoFundMe on social media to hire on a new baseball coach. I'm against it because I think
100%.
Josh Holiday and every other MLB or baseball guy is relearning the whole NIL deal.
Oh, yeah.
And the teams that have been good historically are still staying good. We won the Big 12 2 years ago. Won the Big 12 championship.
Right.
In Arlington, in this ballpark.
Right.
No way, shape, or form am I talking about Josh Holiday being replaced. But do I think something needs to happen this year? Yeah. Something needs to happen. We gotta host a regional for sure. Bottom, you and I have been talking about this. We did in the baseball preview last week. Gotta host a regional minimum. And being Vanderbilt, who, last I checked here, picked to finish pretty darn high up in the SEC rankings.
But that game, we didn't do anything until the 5th and 6th inning, which it was 0-0 all the way until the 5th and 6th. So still kind of concerning that it took over 3 or 2.5 games until our bats actually started lighting it up.
Yeah, and they're picked to finish 8th in the SEC, so it's not like this is a incredible win. We're not beating the 8th team in the country. Beating Arkansas would have been a great way to start the season.
Oh yeah,
but you know what? Also, the other thing is Vanderbilt went 1-2 on the weekend. They shelled Texas Tech, beating 13-3. Texas Tech's pretty good. And then they played us, and then they lost also in 8 innings. I love how these games are just 10 once you get up above 10, that's it.
Yep, done.
Yeah. And if you have not been out to O'Brien Stadium, Trey and I will make it out to a game this season. We'll figure it out here. But you got to come join us. It's an incredible place to go see a game. Have you been out to O'Brien yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Because I got to go back to the tennis. I had to go back to the tennis, one of the matches there, because they were like doing something special. So long story short, I used to run tennis. So they were like doing like a special thing for Miss Greenwood. So we all came together and saw that. And so just conveniently, there was a baseball game right then.
Shout out. Way to go. Vanderbilt is ranked 23rd in the country right now by ESPN. Arkansas is actually ranked 7th, so maybe I'll feel a little bit better than that. All preseason rankings here from February 13th, from Fridays. So, yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. I'm excited for baseball. I think we can do really, really good. But, like, the preseason, college baseball, Big 12 ranking has us 5th or 4th. I think we're tied there. So... Yeah. I'm not picking us to win the Big 12, as I said before on last week, but like I think we can be. No one knows a bunch. I said, hey, we got a ton of transfers on last week's podcast. We have more than other teams in the Big 12. We don't have like the most amount of transfers. We have some, but man, it's gonna be interesting year.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited. I hope Josh Holiday stays on the whole year.
For sure. And then it doesn't help that we don't really have like tough quote unquote opponents until Big 12 play. Maybe the Missouri State game, but for the most part, everything's nothing crazy until UCF and start of the Big 12 conference.
Yeah. All right. Well, got to talk about those Cowgirls down in Clearwater, Florida. We had one home game this whole week, or I think Cowgirl basketball also played yesterday at home, I believe. So, well, we're going to get to them in a second here. But Clearwater, Florida, I mean, that's also where Oklahoma State was playing. We're ranked 23rd in the preseason. We've gone 3-2 so far in the season. And we were previously ranked 20th until this was updated by ESPN.com/USA Softball.
Yeah.
What did you take away from this weekend's games?
It was great to get like some of those games. I was not expecting us to win, like the UCLA. Yeah, that one was not expecting that one. That was a great win. Great overall game per se. A little sad that we lost to LSU, but LSU's been pretty good this year, and also the Stanford game, not the best, but I feel like it's going in the right direction. I feel like we're going to be, once again, a very good contender in the Big 12 Big 12 championship. Can we host another regional? Probably. Can we make it to the World Series again? That I don't know. But we've at least been, that's the best part about this, is like the girls have been very consistent the last 3 to 4 years. So it's really good to see that overall. So this is just a great start for us. Would I have liked to see some more wins? Absolutely. But, they're still, starting off strong.
Yeah. The winning the way we did is impressive.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's any things or buts about that. We're a really good team, I'd say. Overall, we're ranked either 19th or 20th, depending on where you look and like what polls. What's funny is, of course, like, we lost the Stanford Invitational 2-4. We beat San Jose State, still in Stanford. We beat Cal twice, one time 15-2 in 5 innings because we outscored them that badly. We lose to Stanford 0-10 in 5 innings.
Yeah.
But the win against Georgia and the win against A&M are two that I really want to like hone in on.
Mm-hmm.
The win against A&M was very impressive, not just because it's top 10 ranked team in the country, but also because we went up early. Like by the time I was able to turn on the channel and get done with kind of work stuff, or whatever, we were up 7-0.
Yeah.
And 7 runs would not have won the game. We won 9-8.
Yeah.
So being able to kind of get a couple, because A&M just kept coming.
Oh, yeah. They got depth, that's for sure. At least,
Yeah, they've got it's just a lot of fun, I'd say. Watching Oklahoma State softball, if you're not already, but like winning that one and then winning the UCLA game. I'm still trying to figure out why that was 8 innings. I kind of forget now, but the Duke loss sucks. Like we'd love to win that one, and then we go to San Marcos this weekend here for the Kansas City, Texas State, Brown University, Colorado State, and Brown University games. So I guess we get to go down to San Marcos. But the OSU Tulsa Invitational, that'll be the one where we like play Nebraska and basically Nebraska and South Dakota State and Southeast Missouri State. But like we'll at least play another Big 12 or a big,
conference.
Power 14.
Yeah, gotcha. I gotcha.
Trying to save myself here. I don't know. Except for that one. But check out the Cowgirl softball team. I don't know much more on that, honestly.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good year, I think. We'll see. We haven't had any home games, so once we start having home games, I'm sure that's going to matter.
Yeah, getting rowdy out there in the corral. That'll be a fun time. And as a former softball guy myself, I guess he's done a great job with the team. I know last year was disappointing. Last year we finished unranked, and it was not really how you finished last year. But the amount that the broadcast talked about Ruby, like our starting pitcher Friday against A&M, was very impressive. They would not shut up at all. So I'm excited for that one because like that's a great win. And I mean, hey, I'll take a win against A&M anytime I can get. So I don't know. It's weird that I guess it's weird to me that like there's that much talk about how great our pitching was, but then ended up like, oh crap, I mean they just
still giving out 8 runs a game or something like that.
Yeah, still gave up like a ton. And also we faced off against former Cowgirl softball player Talon Edwards, which I feel like she was at OSU back when I was, I know I got 2 years later than he did, so like that's also not a thing for me to think. But
how's that possible?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's honestly possible. I don't think it's possible. I think she just was a really great player for Oklahoma State, and so I remember the name real well. But yeah, Riley Crandall had the win on the day. Ruby Malin could have done a little bit better, but like I think got to her in the 3rd inning, but we'd already put up such a lead. It is what it is. I'm okay with it, I guess. Gotta talk about wrestling though today. So,
sorry, I was just doing, just giving you a little bit of an intro for you.
Thanks so much. No, of course, always to use it. Wrestling. The Stilly Boys, one thing I'd say is the Stilly Boys is an Instagram account. If you're not already following them, I believe they're just covering the Oklahoma State wrestling team real well. Go give them a follow. YouTube as well too. A lot of like fun videos being put out by the wrestling team, wrestling guys, etc. Partnership with clothing / brand company and Lean Frost. They're putting out some merchandise and stuff too, so it's a lot of fun. I'll be at the wrestling duel against Iowa. I can't wait. But the Virginia Tech win 19-12. What more can I say? Great win. Not the largest margin of victory for us against Virginia Tech. In fact, this was our smallest margin of victory. Last time we matched up against them and lost was in 2011, and of the last 3 matchups were 2-1. Yep. So pretty great, I'd say, right?
So far, yeah. I mean, it was a little bit tighter. I don't know much about Virginia Tech, to be honest with you, but it was a little bit closer than I thought it was going to be, considering like who else we played. Like I feel like it would have been a bigger margin of victory, but I don't know how well Virginia Tech's been playing this year. The one thing that's going to be really interesting, because you're going to it, is the Iowa rematch. it's going to be interesting if we can pull it off.
It will be for sure. It's 5:00 on Sunday. If you can get out there. I forgot we had already wrestled Iowa this season.
Yep. It's our only loss technically of the season.
Okay.
November 16th. That's why it's been so long ago.
Yeah, there's not even a recap on the OKC.com about it. So it's part of why you know it was so long ago. For just all seriousness, the NCAA.com wrestling rankings updated through February 9th. Virginia Tech's 6th in the country. So, like, this is a great win.
I didn't know that.
They were 7th beforehand. See, like, but they're 9-2, and we're 13-1.
Right.
So, and Ohio State's 17-0, but for Penn State's 13-0. You know,
I don't get how they do the scheduling. I think it's just whoever doesn't have a basketball game that night, then they can do a wrestling match, I'm guessing.
I have sent a lot of direct messages to people trying to come on the podcast to talk about wrestling. So, TBD. We'll see what we can do. But shout out to Silly Boys. The other thing I want to bring up here, though, of course, is the PFF transfers and really Oklahoma State ranks overall. I don't know if you've been on social media, Trey, but I clearly have because I've seen the number 7 transfer class in the country, Oklahoma State Cowboys, per PFF or some things. And we have the number 2 overall running back transfer through PFF. We have the number 2 overall quarterback transfer through PFF, which Sam Levitt's number 1 in quarterbacks. Am I getting too excited about the football team?
I mean, I'm not, because I saw how North Texas ended their season. Yes, I know we don't have the whole entire North Texas team, but we have a majority of them, right? And we've gotten, from my understanding, really good talent from everywhere, from Big 12, from SEC, from ACC, everywhere. So I'm really excited to see what this team's going to be like, and just to see how our new coach is actually going to perform. Once again, everything's kind of like, I don't want to be too hyped yet because like we haven't gotten through like anything yet, like no spring training, no like things can happen between here and there. For the most part, it's going to settle down, but you never know. Things can happen. A lot can happen over the summer, but I do feel very confident. I can't wait to see, like, I know like there's not like a true like preseason poll yet, but once that comes out and we're in the top 25, I feel like we will be. Then I'll feel a little bit more hype.
Yeah, we have 5 guys ranked in PFF's top 100 for transfer rankings. The first 2, of course, are either Drew and Caleb.
Right.
And I'm already saying them by first name, even though they have paid football. I am aware. But Wyatt Young is the 3rd guy. And then we get the defensive guy, 21st ranked transfer. Ethan Wislowski, like Oklahoma State keeps tweeting out stuff about him, how good he is, and he's getting shouted out. I've seen, listen, the Tulsa head coach for football went out to the Tulsa game, not against Oklahoma State, but he just went out there and said, hopefully see y'all out there. Can't wait to beat them again. That is a strong statement there.
And then also that's like just like locker room material, you know, like you put that in the locker room and you see that every single day to motivate you to like do better just so that you can beat them. So like that's so insane that they did that so early on. Like I get it. Maybe do that like a week or 2 before our game, but like in February you're doing this, like I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have been that bold to do that.
Maybe he's hoping it'll, die down before then or it'll go away then. But like Trey Lamb, the Tulsa head coach, tells the crowd, we'll beat their ass again in reference to OSU. And you know what? They won 19-12 in Stillwater. I don't have much to say except for I cannot wait for September 5th. Because if it ends up being that they beat us again,
yeah, it's rough. It would be so rough if that happened.
I mean, it's a weird deal. Like, I just don't know how to get over this. Honestly, it's weird when Tulsa's flexing.
Oh yeah, for sure. If it's
Absolutely.
OU, that makes sense because we've always had that rivalry and everything like that, and that just gave us motivate. But Tulsa, like, just because you won once in a long time.
They went 4-8 last season, and they were 1-7 in the American Conference play, and they of course, didn't play Eric Morris or North Texas. Just very clear, either way.
Right.
I mean, like, they won against us, Appalachian Christian, Oregon State, and Army. I mean, it'll be there. We talked continuously about going. I think we'll both be there to see. I like it because you know what? It gives us bulletin board material, not that we needed it. That's what I love. I mean, legitimately, all the replies back to this are like, it's bulletin board material. He's mad he didn't get an interview at OSU. I just say this. Like, last year, I was really high on the Oklahoma State football team because I thought, like, Gundy would be able to pull off some voodoo magic.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, no one's going to tell me that if Zane doesn't have to be thrown into the starting position week 2, that we wouldn't be, like, a little bit better. Like, if
We should have been like half. I feel like we could have won half of our games.
I feel like we could. Well, like, I feel like if Hawks Haney plays, and also then Gundy wouldn't be. I just feel like if Hawks Haney plays, maybe Gundy exits out for the season. If we don't get Eric Morris and Maker and Wyatt Young, Caleb Hawkins and Ethan Wisłowski and Miles Lamb and how many other guys can I name here?
I'm okay with the sacrifice that was made.
I struggle with that though, because I'm not necessarily like cool with how this all happened.
Oh no, yeah,
Right? Like,
I feel like Gundy should have been able to at least finish off the season because,
but every rumor is that he was given that option. He
right,
was given the option, hey, do you want to finish out the season or not? And he said, I'll take my buyout now. Thank you. More or less. Like, I don't have to verbatim it, but more or less. And from my understanding, no one has to verbatim.
right.
I've tried to get Mike Gundy's son on the podcast since September. Never pulled through. So I've been trying here to get some like insider info or whatever on that. But I'm really concerned as to how that situation broke down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't think anyone's weirded out by that, right? I am more concerned of how are we so bad that Tulsa feels like they can talk crap.
Right. I mean, it was a big win for them, and I'm sure they got actually probably paid by OSU to play us. I'm sure that happened because that's typically what happens with that type of arrangement. So I just feel like they shouldn't have done that, to be honest with you, because this is a whole different team. I know it's a new coach, so everybody doesn't know what's going to happen there, but just unless you want to move up a division, just stop. No, don't do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well. Gives us more ammunition that we didn't need against them.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. All right. Well, I've got a trivia question for you, and if you get it too quickly, I'm going to ask another one.
Oh boy.
So, let me see here. Which sport was Oklahoma State's first national championship winner? Which sport do we win the first national championship in? We've got like
54. Yeah.
54,
57.
55, I think. Yeah. Actually, I think now the beer's like 55.
Because of cross country. I would say probably it's wrestling.
You'd be correct.
Because It's either wrestling or basketball. It's one of those two, because I know basketball, because I did the question last week of where we were like 50-something, 1950-something for basketball. So I was like, I'm pretty sure it's wrestling.
All right, we got that one real quickly. Before being renamed, Boone Pickens Stadium was originally called what?
Oh my goodness. I just saw this the other day. Oh, what is it? What is it? I'm so mad at myself. I'm drawing a blank. Doesn't it start with an L? No.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
5 letters. Starts with an L.
Larry something? No. How does
No.
it seem right? Little? No.
Lewis Field. I
Lewis.
think you might have gotten it if I give you more time, but honestly, we're kind of in the between moments of still answering trivia question within a good time frame. Boone Pickens Stadium, the home of Oklahoma State football, is a far cry from what the student body expected when they were renamed the field before the 1914 football season. In 1914, the student body named the athletic field after Lowry Lehman Lewis, former dean of veterinary medicine and of science and literature from Oklahoma A&M.
Nice.
Dr. Lewis is one of the most popular figures in school history.
Is there anything Lewis now in OSU?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. There's no like buildings that I'm aware of. That's weird.
It is kind of odd. One more. You can go read all about this if you want to. I'll link it down below. But basically, in addition to his duties as dean and an instructor at Oklahoma A&M at the time, Lewis served as the school's acting president in 1914, and he was instrumental in the development of experimental stations around the state. And under his brief administration, A&M established the first school of commerce and marketing in the nation. So, bunch more information about that. But yeah, I thought that was kind of more fun trivia question of what was Boone Pickens Stadium named before it was Boone Pickens Stadium, which I remember going to games at Lewis Field.
I
Do you remember? Are you old enough?
Yeah, I think I'm old enough. I vaguely, well, it depends on whenever they officially make it, because I know I was there whenever it was just the two, like the north and south side or west and east, whatever.
Before
Before
they closed in the bowl.
it closed off, yeah. So I do remember going to a game there, and I don't remember how old I was, but I do remember, I think it was a Bedlam game too.
Yeah, the newly renovated Southside Field will be open before the 2004 football season. The all-time attendance record for Boone Pickens Stadium is 51,000 for a Bedlam game in 1979. So I guess it used to be 51,000. This is all from stadium history, written in 2004 though. So you can go find it on OKState.com under news stadium history, in case you're curious. So, but yeah, but basically, like, starting in 2003 was the start.
Right.
That's what's also interesting to me is that my two youngest brothers were born in 2004 and 2007, which is after
Boone was created.
Yeah. I mean, Lewis Field was officially renamed BPS, Boone Pickens Stadium, during a halftime ceremony at the 2003 football game versus the University of Wyoming, the University of Josh Allen. So
that's interesting. And it also makes sense because it's another Cowboy team.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, go check out I mean, if you haven't already, as an Oklahoma State fan, the Boone Pickens Legacy Foundation, like Museum Center, whatever you want to say. I believe it's still free to the public. Definitely worth checking out. I had a chance to check it out recently 2 different times. One for an event and one just because I want to see it. Work across the street of West Watkins. So it was cool. But Trey, before we wrap this up, any other things you want to say?
Man, I just hope we do better in basketball this week. I need some positivity there, but you know what? The other sports are cheering me up, right?
Softball's got us. Baseball into Sunday with the win. Softball, be A&M, be UCLA.
We always got wrestling.
Wrestling's doing insanely great week after week. Be the top 10 team in the nation today. In fact, top 7 team in the nation, but not the 7th. So you figure out where that slides in. Catch you guys all again soon. Thanks so much for listening. Peace.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and envelop hope, helping you protect what matters.
Don't